Peace and blessings. Yes, royal family. You know the royal because of the purple, you know. That's where royalty come from. We kings, indigos, higher beings that know it, not higher beings that don't know it and is unconscious. You know, that's our purpose here, to remember. You know, it's all type of different doctrines out here, all types of different YouTube subscriptions we could subscribe to. People feeding our egos, you know. And when you feed the ego, it's like you feeding a demon. We don't know. So I try to gear towards truth. Color of our skin, you know, of course that's important. That's what started this whole mission. I'm a very sympathetic person and patriotic to my own. And I'm not saying that against any race or anything, it's the same, but you know, I had to learn. I just remember, let me put this into a Lord and Key lesson on how I learned this from being first into that, like the Black Power movement, you know, that was a long time ago. I did that in the 80s. You know, after you get up into like learning from Malachi York and all that, that should go into a whole spiritual thing that you lose all of that, you know, I'm black and I'm proud shit, and you get out your ego and start competing in the game of life, trying to figure out what's really going on. So, you know, that took me into mysticism, metaphysics, and, you know, God. It doesn't matter what's the concept, what's the name, you could call it. I don't give a damn from Heru to Saint, Christian, I don't really care. You call it whatever you want. It's still just names. You're chasing tribes, geographical location, associating yourself. Even when you talk, what language you use and associating yourself, trying to stay up to date like a iPad. It doesn't matter all about that. We want truth. What's the purpose of this? What are we here for? What's that all about? So, I learned that image was the first thing I had to get rid of. I'm talking what you see in front of you. The closest one you could look at it in the sense of is actually now somebody that you like, a woman, a man that's chest nice, built, and you really open off of him. That's the first image, or the image we're going to be discussing, person, a form, a shape. You see, that's the first thing it does, it leaves an impression or a sensation on us. And so that now makes a reaction. We react off of these sensations, and these sensations is not true because sometimes the image itself isn't true. Look at it like it's what's inside the heart of a person that make up the person, not actually who the person portray themselves to be just by how they look, like having a nice car pulling up and just having a big, you know, mansion or whatever, taking you home from the club and all that. You know, these things does not equate to who that person is inside. So you got to be able first to look beyond the image. So my first look beyond the image lesson came from the reptilian. Shit, it was kind of the most craziest situation in the world because here I am, you know, stuck with this soul that is now in me, awakened, conscious, and me now separated from my own soul like it's two beings in one. And I know it's not me, and I could see what it could do. It got gifts, powers. It got my whole mind under its control. What I see with my eyes under its control. My thoughts under its control. Only thing I have is myself, the consciousness or whatever, the one to make the choice if what I'm seeing is real, to believe it or not. The one that gotta keep saying, nah, this is not right, this is not me. That's the one dealing with this other one that, you know, probably would come up once in a while as a intuition, but now this motherfucker is alive and active as a being. And so we sharing this one body, it seems like. So this was now where everything started coming into image, because I'm scared now. What I'm seeing is like you could say when I ran upstairs, this would start when the reptilian showed itself to me. This is when I told you I came in my garage and it was a cat. And as I chased the cat, I got some shivers, some chills. And I know the shivers and chills wasn't from me, but it was on my body, my spine. So I had to go chase the cat to see what is that. And when I did, it wasn't there. But when I turned around, it was like a predator-looking, gray, reptilian-looking thing in the garage. And then it just morphed back into my body as I looked, and I was shocked. So I ran upstairs and I said, show yourself. And sure enough, it showed in my eyes. And so, this started the journey into knowing that images is not what they think they are. Well, I mean, images is not what we think they are, and also how we judge everything off of images. Because now I feel like it's a war now. I'm in trouble. I'm being possessed. Anything bad. Anything relating to the physical world, negative. That's what I thought. So, first thing now, I'm dealing with it. I mean, I'm in my room. I'm seeing it. It's showing me my soul, many lives, taking me on journeys into these astral worlds and caves. And I don't trust this shit for nothing, because it didn't just come at one time. Everything came subtly. It started first with just like a star being that was coming to pay a visit on my roof every now and then. And then it looked like it got closer to my window every now and then. And then eventually I told it to come inside, and it did. Once it did, now it used to sit me down, and I used to just be in like a lotus position meditating, and it make me look into my hands, and my hands seemed like it was like a cell inside of it that when you push down on it, it pushes up light, infrared, or this magenta light, and it just takes my eyes and me into a whole nother place. And so I used to do that for hours. I'm talking about, it had me from maybe 2 to when the lights come up in the morning, 7 in the morning, just staring with my eyes open, still can't blink, can't do nothing, traveling in these worlds. So this is deep. This is not nothing. This is when I met the dragon. But all these had to be broken in me. I don't recommend none of this to nobody. I'm leaving a data of my story for, like I said, a guidepost for those, or a beacon for those who had these similar experiences. So now I'm going through this and having all these challenges with this being. This led now to make you understand why I said that, better move from here. This led now to why I said that maybe that this thing isn't just as bad as I thought it was, because if I'm cooperating with it and I'm trying to do something with it, and it's not doing me anything, but as soon as I leave and I get out my house, I'm like, yo, I run to the church, go get a exorcism. I'm at my uncle's house telling him how this thing is trying to kill me and possess me, and it's taking my body, being abducted, saying all types of crazy shit. And it was like, at the end of the day, he was like, yo, did it do you anything? Has anything happened to you? And I said, no. So he said, why are you saying all these things and doing anything? Why you just don't go see what's going on? So that made me start seeing things different, because at this point, it was like this spirit is actually now having me sit in a rocking chair. That's why I learned so much about Egypt. Like, you ever see their hieroglyphs? They got the earth is a half a dome. It's shaped like a rocking chair. It got the swoop. Once I understood that, I realized if you're on like a pendulum in a magnetic field, it naturally is going to rock back and forth because of those two polarity and forces. So as I sat in the rocking chair and started meditating, the rocking chair will just start rocking on its own. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. So it was like the perfect instrument that the Egyptians have, like the half earth, which is they trying to tell you, if you ever look under the half earth, it's waves going up and down with two lines this way. And then the half earth, that's telling you on the magnetic field you will float. And so it's like you will find the perfect pivot spot when you're in a magnetic field. So when I go into meditation, I might be just sitting in the rocking chair and don't move. But once I induce a strong magnetic field, and how I started learning this is like when I was sitting in the chair, it's like you let go of yourself. It's not me trying to do it because I wouldn't know what to do. I never did those things before. But my body knew, the soul did. And the soul was like, let go, I got this. Let me drive now. So I just became, like I said, the consciousness in it, and I allow everything to be. So I watched my body and get encompassed by a light right around the edge of it that kept flickering off and on, like if I'm flashlighting, and then eventually it started engulfing me in this light. That was like my first encounters with it. So after a while, I started learning it. I could actually just stare at bottle caps, stare at my rocking chair, and I could make it rock by just staring at it. I could encompass it in like a glow, like that cell, and it's like it'll take the weight away from it and it'll start just hovering. You're just hovering your body. It's like a feeling. A lot of people who've done meditations with me or Reiki work, that's what they feel. It's like they're floating in their body. So that's the feeling you're gonna get when you're doing it. All right, yeah. You feel like you're floating in your body. So on that note now, once you get these feelings and everything, this is what it's gonna be in alignment. Hold on, let me put it back together. I just said hi to those people or whatever. But what was I saying? Yes. All right. So now I started learning about the pivot and seeing how it works with, under the magnetic field, under meditation. That's what you inducing is a magnetic field. It's the same now as like a ball, like in the girl from Fantastic Four Sue, when she make that field around her protection. That's what it is. So now, say you in the Sue field or that magnetic field. It's like what's inside of it also now is a reflection of what's inside of you. So it's like you seeing only what's inside that bubble, and nothing could penetrate it or come through there. So that's like what you're doing when you go into these meditations. You're activating your Merkaba, which is a bubble, and you, excuse me, you're making it stronger and stronger, intensifying it to like a good solid depth that it could actually have influence on the material world. So now this is what I learned about the half circle of the Egyptians, the two lines and the waves going up and down. You always see it at the bottom of the pictures. That's why it's telling you everything is floating on the top. Everything is in another world. If you see, especially Osiris did, that symbolizes the magnetic field. This is what they're telling me. And so once I'm able now to get in the rocking chair and the chair start pivoting back and forth on its own, let me tell you, it got to where I started doing the cells first, or DNA activation. I would sit in the chair and it'd be like a dentist in my mouth, and the chair would be leaning back all the way to this whatever position it want. It'd be half tilt, full tilt, and sometimes it'd just be like, yo, I kid you not. No, I advise you to get a rocking chair for meditation, man, or get you a tilt ball. Stand on one of them tilt balls and meditate. You were gonna see yourself literally levitate on that shit. This is the precursor to all that future shit that's gonna be going on through these science, man. Call me Simon Magnus, the magician, man. I'm teaching y'all the truth using magnetic field, using energy, using light. Later maybe sound too through mantras, but for now, this is what it is. It's a subtle energy, but after years of doing it, you become very powerful. Now, this still is about images and how images take a toll on our senses. So now, when the rocking chair was rocking, it's like, this is amazing. So this gets into a more deeper for real experience, because now I have a mirror, a big mirror right in front of the rocking chair. So it could take the light from, like, say if I'm on my rocking chair and I got my laptop in my lap or whatever, it could take the bright light from my laptop if the room is dark and, copy it. It become like a luminous image and push it up on my mirror, and I could astral project through the mirror. So I'm like, oh, this is amazing. But now, as we got more acquainted, which I never trusted this thing. Yo, I will never trust it. Yo, you know how many times I jumped out the chair and was like, I knew it, you ain't no fucking good. You know, I kept doing, I'm gonna get the candle, I'm gonna do this, I'm threatening it the best way I can, knowing that I'm stuck, but I still was holding my ground. So anyways, now, the time came when it actually took me in the rocking chair and put up the image I set off of my computer screen on the mirror, because it's a magnetic glow. It's just like a light blue glow. And now this magnetic glow, all of a sudden now, I started traveling in the chair, and the chair started rocking too at the same time. I'm talking about when I was going around mountains, the chair will rock to the left, it will rock to the right, it will tilt up when I'm flying up and tilt down when I'm going down. Yo, I jumped out the chair and got on my knees, man, and I just felt it so bad. I wanted to cry, B. And you know what? It was beautiful. It was beyond beautiful. It was like when you go to Epcot Center and you go on a virtual reality airplane ride or something, or like you're flying in space and there's nothing around you except for space and clouds when you ever take one of them Epcot rides. Just like that. But the chair was the whole vibe. The rocking chair was the whole key to all of it. And I'm like, wow. So now that that happened, I'm on my knees, and I felt it so fucked up because I judged this thing wrong. You know, all right. And that's because I said to myself, yo, why is this thing showing me such beautiful things? It was so beautiful that emotionally I was breaking down as I was flying through it. Breaking down, like I was coming to self-realization that I fucked up, that I'm misjudging this thing. This is fucked up. That's what made me jump out the chair and like jump to my knees like, yo, I'm a fucked up person. That's all I thought, because I thought all this negative thing about it, and I was wrong. That shit was the most beautifulest thing in the world, that you could have killed me right then and there, and I'd have been the happiest man in the world. Straight up. Like, you can't take that out of me. That's permanent. You understand? Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't know. So, anyways, you know, after that experience right there, that's when I was like, yo, images. We judge things off of images. We don't really know what the fuck is going on, much less what the image is trying to portray to us. And so that's when I started my campaign of just writing on my posts. I stopped putting up pictures. No more pictures, just writing. And so that's when I learned, even with us, we get into fetishes. We like a person because of their sexy toes, or we like them because they got big arms. Or a lot of people like fat asses. A lot of women like big chest niggas and big arm niggas. They like teeth. People like hands. The thing with all of those things is like, it's not you. So if say that person now decide that they're not gonna be with you no more, they're gonna seek another hand, another fat ass, another teeth that looks like you, because it was never you in the first place. It's their fetish. So that person don't know you. All they know is their fetish, and they see it through you. So when you cling to them images, get the concept correct that all you're clinging to is what they see as a material person. If they're a material person, they're only going to see a material side of you, and that's what they want from you, your sexiness. Yes, my brother, your sexiness, your looks, your this, your that. And so if that's all they have to cling on to, you lose that, you lose them. And sometimes even it's just something sexual. Once the sex is over, the passion is over, you lose them still. So images is very important, because that's what compels us to do the things we do. Once you can look beyond image, then you'll be able to look at the real world and see what's really good for you, because sometimes it don't be that one that you're lusting and desiring for. It's the one who care about you. Remember, it's what's in the heart. It's not what you see. And so a lot of us now go into our servant self and our slavery self, because we become servant and put ourselves in servitude to men's and to women's that, yes, that feeds our fetish, feed our desire, feed our pleasure, but have no substance for our soul, can't help us ascend. You know, everybody that is seeking a mate or a partner on like the soul relationship tip is something that God put together. You know, it's not something you pick. You can't pick a relationship right for you. It's gonna be probably a nigga that you don't like, you hate, you can't stand. That's the dude for you, because it was picked by God, a higher source. More than likely, y'all was fucked up together. Y'all been through some stuff together. It's beyond material things. It's more deeper. And if you don't realize that, then you ain't gonna be able to ascend, and you will keep chasing your lower desire, how you feel this person is supposed to be my soulmate. A soulmate or twin flame. A soulmate is just a comforter. It's nothing like a twin flame. It's a twin flame. And a twin flame is going to be your worst adversary because he brings out the best in you by bringing you with your daily challenges of what you think you're supposed to be in reference to what you have hidden inside of yourself, because we all covertly believe that we're this and we're that, and love is about the white picket fence in the house and he's my king and he's going to do everything I say. That's the servant. So you got to realize neither the man or the woman in a soul relationship play the servant or the bondmaid. You understand? That's an ascension thing. This is when you leave all of that. Your soulmate, your twin flame cannot separate from you. This relationship is bonded in the spirit. God put two spirits together. It's like 40% physical, if it ever is. It's all the rest, you could say the 70% is really about you and that person actually bonding, or 60% really. I would say I would even go 90%. Don't use my mathematics, because I've done the research, and the research is saying that about 90% of the time it starts off by your desires. You chasing your desire will bring about your soulmate. So it's not actually for you to meet them in person, because you won't have the desire, the imagination, the will to will it into existence. You have to will it. And so it starts by meeting long distance, and the desire for you to meet that person will then start the flame reaction. And so what they put inside of you, it cannot be taken out. Once they put it together, say you and this person never get together, that still remains your soulmate. It remains, your twin flame. It remains so much your twin flame that, like, say if you have a child from another person, the child actually is going to be that twin flame child. It's going to look like the twin flame and be the twin flame. And spiritually, that's who the father is or the mother is. It can never be anybody you go and marry on your own. It's the one that was put with you from the jump. That relationship could never separate, and anybody else who manifests in your life after that is a reflection of that first person. Anybody else after that, of your twin flame, that is, it's only going to be a reflection of them, because that's what it is. So whoever comes is going to be possessed by that twin flame. Anyways, just wanted to shout that. University of Conscious Science. One love.